Hi, this is Ray of the Fashion Pulpit, and welcome to our new version of Swap Stories where you will get to know our community better. For our first episode, we have someone who is a random swapper, used to be a random swapper, now not so random anymore, but a good friend. We are happy to welcome Xing. Hello.
Hi Ray. Thanks for having me on your first episode.
Of course. So, can you give us a brief intro of yourself?
Yes. So my name is Xing, and I am a recent fashion business graduate, and I love clothes swapping. It's something that I guess swapping is like my first go-to in terms of like acquiring new clothing.
Right.
So I also write freelance on the side on anything intersecting with fashion sustainability and I guess in the context of Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
I also run no Ordinary Protest on Instagram, and I advocate anything about anything from wearing secondhand to the deeper issues that surround fashion waste and the consumption habits. I also wrote a dissertation on clothes swapping and the operations around the clothes swapping business model. So that's how I got to know you better.
Yes.
Because we spoke about it and we really discussed in depth on the characteristics of clothes swapping. Yeah, so that's me.
When did you start swapping? Like, outside your family?
Like, formally would have to be at Liang Court.
And that's where we met.
Yeah, that's where we met for the first time. So I came with my friend, two friends, and then that was my first formal exposure to swapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then afterwards I went back to London and I kind of like organized my own swap. No, wait, sorry.
That's okay.
The timeline in my brain is all messed. Organized the swap in London first.
Okay.
In my flat for Fashion Revolution Week 2019. So it was like a fun thing.
Right.
It was like a week, like a potluck sort of like afternoon, and then I asked people to bring food and people to bring clothes. It was like it was just right for a clothing swap, like a friend acquaintance kind of thing. So I just like blasted it on Instagram and asked people to come. And then people just messaged me, and yeah, it was really fun. So that was my first swapping experience. And then I came to Liang Court. I also wrote about swapping in my final year dissertation.
Yes.
In university. So that's how I got to know you even more, because then I spoke to you about swapping and like the characteristics of clothes swapping as a business model. And
Right.
Yeah,
Which is very interesting, and we will put the link in our description for those who are interested to know more. Yeah.
So that's
cool.
how it started.
Came about.
Yeah.
So do you want to start? Which one
Sure.
has like your favorite, or like tell us more?
I can't pick my favorite, but I guess from this side.
Yeah. Okay.
onwards,
Sure.
Yeah. So this pink coat, I got at the clothes swap that I organized in London.
Cool.
So a friend of a friend, she brought it to the swap, and because she wanted to get rid of some of her winter clothes, just because she was graduating and she was going home.
Right.
So she brought this and I saw it and I was like, okay, it's mine. Like, I have to get it
It's a nice
because it's so, and it's just such a nice color. And it's like a very nice, like, I would never buy this from Topshop on my own. But it's such a pleasant color, and it's, a lot of people in London wear black and navy and brown. So pink, and in this shade of pink, is pretty special and it does stand out. So I was very naturally drawn to its color. So yeah, I love this coat. Brings back fond memories.
And the second
So
one.
the second one is just like a very basic black sweater top. I got this at a community clothes swap that I volunteered at in London. It's organized by this organization called Swap Rebellion, and this was something I took away as like a token for my volunteer. Yeah, for my volunteering.
This is your payment.
Yeah, so this is my payment, my paycheck.
Do you remember how you started like loving secondhand?
There isn't like a significant moment where I fell in love with secondhand. It just
Right.
kind of like came into my life because I just realized that it's just a much better way to relate to my own style and my own form of expression. Yeah, and also it's just cheaper. It's more economical to buy secondhand and to swap. So yeah, it's very friendly on the student budget. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
There There you go. And
That's
this
right.
piece.
This piece I swapped here, I think a month ago,
A month
2 months
ago,
ago.
yeah.
It was, I picked it out, and then I remember I was with Tammy, right?
Uh-huh.
I was with
Yeah, I
Tammy, and
think
she was
so.
like, "Try it on. It really looks good." And then I tried it on, and I fell in love with it. And very recently, I wore it out on like a date with
Yeah, we're gonna
myself.
show you an Instagram post. Did
Yes.
you post it? Or is it in stories?
I think in stories I
Okay.
posted it, yeah. But it was like a good day because I just like went out and did things for myself
Right.
and by
Oh, that's
myself.
cute.
Yeah, and I remember I was at the projector, and then the lady asked me if these were like attached to the dress. And I was
Right.
like, yeah, they are.
It's a real shell.
Yeah, 2 real shells. It just makes me happy. I mean, what is there not to love about this dress?
Exactly.
I'm very glad I picked it up, and thank you to whoever who brought it in.
Yeah.
This top I got at the same swap where I
The first swap that you did.
yes. So a friend, she brought it in. It used to be a dress, according to her. So she cut it
Oh,
and
really?
it's remade into a top.
Wow.
Yeah, and this top is the only top that I was wearing like almost every day when I first came home to Singapore, because like it
It's
feels like you're
just-
wearing nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's
It's
so airy,
breezy,
it's so
yes.
breezy, and it's so hot here. So like it's perfect.
And this is
for-
reversible? Is this It looks like it's
Oh
reversible.
wow, I've never tried it the other way. Oh wow.
I think it is.
I could actually. Oh
Right?
my
Okay,
god.
let's try it.
Okay.
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah. It is true. Yeah. Wow. I could wear it like this. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And no one would be like, because this side is like pretty outstanding enough. So
Correct. And this is more toned down.
yeah, more muted, I guess.
Yes. There you go.
Oh wow. Yay.
2 tops.
So this one also I got from the same clothes swap that I organized in my flat. A friend brought it over, and she, for some reason, I think she thrifted it for like £20, but for some reason she just never got much wear out of it. So she
Right.
brought it in. And when I saw it just like that coat, I was like, okay, this is mine. And also because when you organize a clothes swap, you get first dips on everything because you go
yeah.
through the things.
I
So
do
I was
the
like-
QC. I'll
Yeah.
do the first bit.
Yes, I love how like the blue,
Yeah.
like the different shades of blue, and it's just such a happy piece. Like, how can you not smile when you look
That
at it?
is so true.
Yeah, and
So true. This
I wear this either as like a top, like a sweater top, or a cardigan, depending on the weather and depending on my mood. You don't really get a lot of wear out of this in Singapore, just like the pink coat. Yeah, but very cute, and also cropped. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What have been like your favorite moments when you swap?
I think my favorite moments, especially when I am organizing a clothes swap
Mhm.
or when I'm volunteering, would be to meet different people and see them find things that they like. Standout moment that I remember when I organized my own clothes swap was when people were really happy with what they found, and they were like, "Yeah, thank you so much for organizing this." And I'm like, "Yeah, no worries. Like, as long as you find something that you like, it's all good." You know, I think that would be my favorite thing about swapping. I think
Swapping, yes.
that's. But if I'm swapping, say at the fashion pulpit, I think a good moment will be if I swap something and I get a lot of wear out of out of that piece. I think that makes me happy because
Cool.
then like
It's worth of your like swap
yeah,
time.
I know I can always bring it back if it doesn't suit me. That's the beauty of swapping
Yeah.
too, right? But it just satisfies me to know that like I get wear out of it.
My last question is, what is the power of swapping to you?
Ooh. I think the power of swapping lies in the community, the swapping community. Because when I was doing my research on the characteristics and the operations of swapping, it's just a very people focused clothing activity, and I love how it turns fashion, which historically should not be a business transaction, but it has become a business transaction, right? It kind of make that secondary, and then the whole like community spirit,
Engagement.
the engagement, and that like when that takes priority, I think that's really beautiful,
Yeah.
as cheesy as it sounds, and the whole clothes
Which is-
sharing experience. And just the movement of clothing, I find that really intriguing and very interesting. like clothing coming in and out of somebody's wardrobe and then going into somebody else's. Like that's very fascinating to me because yeah, it just becomes an experience that people share, but without really knowing that they're sharing something.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's something that really fascinates me.
Cool.
So that to me is the power of swapping, and I hope people keep swapping. So yeah, start swapping, guys. It's worth it.
Cool. Thank you so much, Xing,
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thanks.
And for those of you who are watching, let us know if you have more topics that you would want us to discuss. And hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for tuning in.